go. That's what we're talking about.
Fuck yeah. Oh, jeez.
Alright, so I'm going to redo this here and see if Noah catches one again. Why don't we try and do this quick, but just got in, barely even in here. Just kind of right at the beginning of it. But we're going to go kind of all the way back up in here. Kind of work that middle ridge and see what we can find. Noah is just the trout slayer. Back-to-back casts here. Another nice one. Across here, looking for trout, but my current set of rubber boots are very old. Oh, I got wet. It's alright. That sucks. So, shout out to Light Boots, because they are on their way and should be actually at my door when I get home, but just left early this morning to get up, but got some wet boots now. I have to just pick a spot here this afternoon and sit and try the old feet out, but now I'm kind of set up better to nice little brownie. That's a cool coloration too. You got almost some red dots coming down his back. Pretty neat little fish. Let's get back in the water quick. Alright, so it took a little break from the throwing a Mep or a Panther Martin. Switched to this Thomas Cyclone. And had a couple follow-ups, nothing really wanted it. You know, bigger lure like that, fishing for bigger trout, obviously. So there's a lot of little guys in this area. So we're gonna switch to something a little smaller. But you know, typically, so yeah, we're gonna switch it out here. Just throwing that little Thomas Cyclone, and I'm gonna switch it up probably something a little bit smaller. Sunny day like this with the water very clear. I'm probably throwing some gold, silver, just kind of a natural color, maybe a Buffalo Tiger with some green or some olive in there. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, that being said, I'll do white and black. Free plug here for our new Wild Fate hats. They are pretty nice, and they are darn comfortable. Just a shameless plug there for move some of our apparel out. You know, I'm gonna throw this. I forget the name of it. It's a local Minnesota brand, so I'll try and find it and throw it down in the comments for what it is. But I've had really good luck with this. This is kind of what we're talking about here. A little golden spoon on there, round spoon with some silver balls on here. But those have been pretty good. I've had really good luck too with gold spoon with some purple beads on there. So we're gonna throw the gold and silver. Take my own advice here. I am going to pause the video because it's kind of funny how terrible I am at tying knots. If you're not tying knots for a while, so stay back. Alright, and we're back from tying knots. That was actually a pretty good one. This was pretty quick. These fish are kind of starting to come back into this pool here as I've stayed away here. But yeah, you know, the nice thing about fishing like this is it's just quiet, it's peaceful, not a whole lot going on, which is pretty much what I'm looking for when I'm coming out here doing stuff like this. It's just some quiet, some peace. But, no better therapy too. You know, if you're struggling out there, things aren't going right, feel like everything's going wrong, you know, it's a good spot to just come out, get away from the BS of everyday life and just relax. You know, catching fish is just a cherry on top when you're doing something like this. You're just out here quiet, listening to the birds. Lots of wood ducks here, which is pretty fun. I love wood ducks are up there on my list, but yeah, it's a good spot to just take time, reflect, thank the good Lord for all the blessings you do have in life, whether they maybe seem small or not as big at the time, but that's what I like doing out here, just puts everything in perspective. You may think the world's burning down around you, but you come out here and everything's going to be alright. A little creekside reflection. Never hurt anybody, and honestly, all it can probably do for you is make you a bit more happier. I'll guarantee you that. You know, there we go, we got some action on there. Yeah, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to throw about 6 more casts here and move on. I'd say 6, it'll probably be 10. I'm going way down in that valley, so I got to catch up. Stay tuned. The thing I like to do when I'm fishing is catch one. They're feeding right where these two rivers meet, and I was going to say before he hit it, I like to fish for the foam pad. What I mean by that is foam is a good indicator of where food's going to be traveling downriver, and you can kind of surmise that foam is food is. Another nice little brown. They are just beautiful little fish. We'll get him home. Good one on the camera. Oh, there's a massive brown one behind that big rock right there. No, what are you throwing?
Well, I'm just throwing a little
gold mecks right now. There's a little big one on earlier, but nothing was really touching it besides the first bite in the morning. Try something smaller and see what happens.
Yep. Yeah, we're fishing this. The water's pretty clear, as you can see here.
What was that chasing?
If that helps a little bit. A little bit. Throw the sunglasses over there for some polarization. But right below this rock right here, there's a ton of fish. So just trying to pitch over to them, see what they want to do. There was a massive brown that was swimming around in there. We'll see what happens. Alright, day 2 of trout opener here in Minnesota. Got the fam out here. Little honey hole that we've gone to in the years past. It's good for kids, quick and easy, and it's fun. There's usually a lot of trout here, so it should be a good little time. We're gonna get out here, throw down a little picnic, and enjoy this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Where we going? Alright, I think that's the plan. Show me where. Where are we fishing down there? Alright, let's do it.
But there's wires, so you need to be careful.
We can both do it together.
The weekend's behind us now, but the memories linger like boot tracks in mud. Proof we were there even after we're gone. We didn't chase after fame or fortune, just trout and quietness. We stood in the shallows of God's country, knee-deep in His creation, and let the world slow down for a while. The fish were a blessing, but the real gift was time spent with my boys. Watching them watch the water, cast a line, ask questions, that's the start of something. That's a seed planted. Out here, a man doesn't need much. Just a good rod, some patience, and the presence of the Lord. You know, Billy Graham once said, "The will of God will not take us where the grace of God cannot sustain us." And I reckon that applies just as much out here in the timbers and streams as it does anywhere else. I thank God for weekends like this one, for sons who are learning, and for moments that turn into legacy. We came here for the fish, but we found so much more.